Welcome back to Coaster Trek. It is October 2024 AD, and we're crossing the Mississippi to go to a very ancient site known as Poverty Point. Poverty Point is an ancient city built by mound builders and occupied between 1700 to 1100 BC. That's around the time of Moses in Egypt. This is what it looks like from Google Maps currently, and this image is an excellent one because you can clearly see the ridges and the big mound in the back. One thing they keep saying is that the natives living in Poverty Point were hunters and gatherers. Trust me, that is not true. They were a very advanced civilization. A hunter-gatherer society is where the population is so small they just have to hunt and gather to maintain their food supply. They don't have to do any type of farming at all. Historians continuously say that thousands of people lived here, which is probably true, and that means they were not hunter-gatherers. If there was a massive plague and only a few survived, then they would go back to hunter-gathering. But civilizations have risen and fallen before, and that's what happened here. My personal belief is that Poverty Point in its heyday was a massive agricultural center. They had crops, they had fish, and they had live animals.
That's Mound A. Okay, well, Bayou Mason, Ridge Bluff. The Mississippi River was closer at this time and may have formed a shallow backwater lake.
So 3,000 years ago, it was believed the water level was much higher here, and this mound here, called the Dunbar Mound, also had evidence of structures on it. It was most likely their port, where boats would come and dock so they can do their trading.
That is Mound A, straight across, right? Okay, I am on the trail. These are... It doesn't say. Oh, this is the plaza. All right. Station 1 is the plaza. Okay, this is the plaza. And those are holes or something. Everything is a hole. And these are the ridges. Yeah.
These mark holes that were used for underground cooking. The food would be put in the holes and then heated using these clay balls that were also heated up.
This is Ridge 1. They average about 2 feet high, but were probably 5 feet high 3,000 years ago. All right. And this is the southwest aisle. How do they figure out these ridges? Oh, there's the tram. If you look on the other side of the tram road, you can see low depression in the trees. Okay, the treasure, it's the southwest and west. Looking from near the center of the plaza during the first day of winter, the setting sun aligns in the aisle this way. Okay.
One theory is that the people lived on the rings. I don't believe this at all, because as you can see here, the Aztecs and the Peruvians also used something similar to the rings for farming. They trapped water between the rings for fish farming and then used the water to grow the crops on top of the rings.
Okay, there's Ridge 2, which means Ridge 2 is also over there in the trees. Ridge 3. Okay, this is a lot bigger than it sounds to be. Ridge 4. 5. Ridge 6. And then over here, that's Mound A. And it took 90 days for them to build it. Now where can I park? Okay, that is Mound A. They said it took 90 days to build. This is the Mound A contact station. And that is Mound E over there. Can you walk to? Yes. Oh, they even had a foot thing so you wouldn't slip. They're pretty smart.
The belief is Mound E was used for sports because if you go up there, it does look like a soccer field, or it's about the same size. And I believe that too.
Of Mexico. It stands 72 feet tall, and when you look at it from above, it looks a little like a T. It's about 700 feet north to south and a little longer east to west. It would have required about 238,500 cubic meters of soil to build this, and to put that in context, that's 31,217 standard dump truck loads of dirt. Of years, it took between 30 and 90 days to build Mound A.
Now for Mound A.
This is a bench for the older Indians who said, screw it, I'm not making it all the way up. There's part of the road.
The mound builders were very big in astronomy. The E, A, and B mounds are all lined up with true north, and are even lined up with a lower Jackson mound that was built thousands of years earlier. The Mound A was definitely used for stargazing, religious purposes, any type of ceremony, because there's a level here halfway up and then another one at the top.
Okay, there's Mound E. The halfway point is pretty level. They probably did a lot of stuff right here. Probably the head person was up there, and then they would do their stuff here. Okay, because this is pretty level. Okay, I know why they gave it up, because coming up here was a bear. Oh my god. That's Mound E. Those are the rings. Oh my gosh. Mound C is to the left of the trees. Oh, Mound D is to the right of the visitor center. Maybe I can see that. Oh my gosh. And Mound B is that way. Okay. This is 165 feet above sea level, which is 72 feet above the ground, and it's 710 feet. So it looks like a giant plus sign. Oh. Okay. This is the back side of the mound. Going to number 4. The back side of the mound there. There's probably more stuff in these trees that they don't know about. Okay, where is marker number 4? That is Mound B over there. This is the borrow area where they took dirt from.
This area behind Mound A is also where they found the biggest number of arrowheads, which leads me to believe that this was a cattle ranch back here. The cattle were actually barricaded in somehow.
The Mound B field over here. There's a 5. This is the Mound B field where most of the artifacts they found. That's pretty high here. What if they corralled their animals right here instead? They say they're hunter-gatherers, but there's plenty of space where they could have built a corral right here for the animals. I mean, if they found so many spears here, they weren't hunter-gatherers. This was the ranch in the back. That's what it is. This is where the ranch was. Got the dirt. You can see the Mount A through the trees. This was a ranch. It's pretty here, but these trees weren't here. Oh, my old guy got bit by something. Mound B is the oldest mound. It's 20 feet high, 180. It was a perfect conical form. Fire pits, charcoal, and possible post holes. This is where they watched the animals in the ranch. They stood up there and kept watching the animals. This is where they hunted them too. They would shoot at them. Let's see what that sign says. Oh man, something itching. I'm gonna do a walking tour sometime. Oh, my laser itching. 12. And there's the, yeah. See, they stood here to stand watch on their herd right over there. That's why there's so many spear points.
So while I was filming the far side of the rings here, the pain continued, and I realized I was being eaten alive by little bitty ants. Not the big ants, these were little bitty ants. They were just eating up my leg. It hurt. This is Mound C in the distance. 3,000 years ago, it was right up by the water, so that was the port where all the boats came to do their business. Poverty Point was a massive farm and food trading station.
Alright, there's the Poverty Point period, 1700 1100 BC, and then the Coles Creek period, 800 to 1100.
This is Mound D, also called Sarah's Mound, because a few people from the plantations in the 1800s are buried in it. Also, there's evidence that this mound was built by tribes about thousands of years later. Now for a quick look at these circles of post holes. They're all over the place. This is added later. There's really nothing in there, but there used to be holes where they would cook food underground. Then they would heat up the clay balls and stick the clay balls in there to cook the food with. Poverty Point was definitely not a hunter-gatherer society. It was a major agricultural center. They grew crops on the rings and then trapped water between the rings for irrigation and to grow fish. It was a fish farm thousands of years ago, just like they did in Peru and Mexico. Behind Mound A was a cattle ranch. Then Mound B was used as a watchtower for the cattle. Mound E was definitely for sports. And Mound C, right by the water, was used as a port. That was the dock where the boats would come and trade their goods. See, I had it all figured out. And the reason they all disappeared? They were eaten alive by little bitty ants. Trust me, that really hurt. Thank you for watching. Be sure to leave comments below and click that like button, the share button, that subscribe button. And be sure to visit native sites whenever you can. Thank you.